Tonight, a woman comes home 2 days early. The door is unlocked. A stranger's sandals wait by the rack. She thinks she's caught an affair, but what's behind that door isn't another woman. It's a secret-wearing family's face, shame, debt, and the kind of love that lies to keep you safe. This is the Confession Stories. I thought my husband was cheating, but the truth was worse.
I came home 2 days early. No calls, no texts. I wanted the kind of surprise that makes love feel young again. The rain had just stopped when my taxi pulled up to the curb. Streetlights bled into puddles. I remember thinking, everything looked exactly the same, and yet something felt off. Daniel and I had been married 5 years, no kids yet, just careers, deadlines, and empty takeout boxes. He was the steady one, the quiet engineer who never lost his temper. I loved that about him. Loved that I could travel for work and still trust the house would be warm when I came back. That night, I let myself in. The door wasn't locked. Daniel never forgot to lock it. Maybe he's still up, I whispered to myself. The lights in the living room were on, soft, golden, too still. My suitcase wheels squeaked on the floorboards. The smell of rain and coffee filled the air. And then I saw them. A pair of women's sandals, light beige, neatly placed by the shoe rack. Not mine, not anyone I knew. The kind of shoes you'd wear to a dinner, or to someone's bedroom. My heart stumbled. Every affair story I'd ever seen started small, like this. I stood there for a moment, hearing the house breathe. From down the hall came a sound, soft, muffled, a woman's voice, crying. My first thought was to run. My second, to know. I set the suitcase down quietly. My hand found the bedroom door handle. I swore I could hear my pulse in the walls. Please, stop crying. We'll fix this. Daniel's voice, low, careful, the tone he used when he was trying to keep control. I pushed the door open just enough to see the light spill across the floor. And whatever was waiting inside that room, it was about to rewrite everything I thought I knew about trust. I wasn't ready for the shape of the truth. The door was half open. A thin line of light cut across the hallway floor. The crying grew clearer, fragile, almost childlike. I held my breath. Please, stop crying. We'll fix this. Daniel again. His voice dropped into that careful, patient register he used when he didn't want anyone to panic. My chest ached. Jealousy and fear twisted like 2 threads of the same rope. I pushed a little harder. The hinges whispered. Cold air touched my wrist. Inside, I saw Daniel kneeling on the floor. A woman sat across from him, head down, shoulders shaking. Her hair was short and dark, and for a heartbeat I didn't recognize her. My mind filled in what it wanted to see. A stranger, an affair, betrayal. Daniel, I heard myself say, barely a whisper. He turned fast, eyes wide, not with guilt, but with shock. Lena, the woman lifted her face. My brain needed a second to catch up to what my eyes saw. Mum? She looked ruined, makeup smeared, eyes raw from crying. Papers were spread around them like fallen leaves. In the middle, an open bag overflowing with cash and receipts. Daniel stood, hands raised slightly as if to calm me. It's not what you think. His words hit the floor between us and didn't move. I wanted to scream something, anything, but all I could do was stare at the money spilling from that bag, the proof of something rotten I couldn't yet name. Mum, I said again, so quiet I barely heard it myself. She didn't answer, just wiped her face and looked at Daniel for help. Tell her, he murmured. That was when the crying started again, louder this time, older, heavier. And I realized whatever this was, it had nothing to do with love, and everything to do with desperation. Jealousy left, dread stayed. Daniel's hands were shaking when he sat back down. The lamp between them threw tired shadows across his face. "Mum's in trouble," he said at last. She didn't want anyone to know. "Trouble?" I repeated. The word felt too small for what I was seeing. She wiped her eyes and whispered, I made a mistake." I looked from one to the other, my husband, my mother-in-law, and I felt like the air had thinned around me. What kind of mistake? Daniel reached for the papers, but I was faster. I snatched one off the carpet. A loan agreement, £25,000. Oh my God, my knees wanted to give out. "You borrowed this, for what?" Her mouth trembled. "It was supposed to help us. An investment. A friend from church said everyone was doing it." Daniel's voice was barely above a whisper. "It was a scam." "A scam?" I almost laughed, the kind of laugh that comes before tears. She lost everything, savings, credit cards. She started borrowing from neighbors to cover the losses. Then the loan collectors came. I sank onto the edge of the bed. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. Mum's voice broke again. "I was so ashamed. I didn't tell your father. He'd never forgive me. So I came to Daniel." I stared at her, at the sandals by the door, at the money, at the weight of every lie that had led here. "Why did you hide it from me?" I asked him. He looked at me like a man already guilty of something he had no choice in. "Because you were working so hard, because I didn't want to worry you, because she's my mother." I wanted to be angry, but anger didn't fit. What I felt was heavier, a mixture of pity and something like grief. The crying faded to sniffling. The clock on the wall ticked loudly enough to fill the silence. "We can fix this," Daniel said finally, but his voice didn't sound like faith. It sounded like a prayer made too late. Mum pressed both hands to her knees, as if the weight of her story might crush her. "It started small," she said. "Just a little investment group after church. They said it was safe. I put in a few £100s first. It worked. I got returns. Everyone was happy." Her voice shook. "Then I added more. 5,000, 10. People trusted me. They followed. I thought I was helping them." Daniel looked down. His jaw tightened. "And then?" I asked quietly. "Then they closed the group chat. The website vanished. No one answered my calls." Her hands were trembling so hard the papers on her lap rattled. I thought if I could get more money, I could win it back. So I borrowed. First from a friend, then a neighbor, and then the wrong people. Daniel's voice was flat, almost ashamed. Mum nodded. "They came to the house once, shouted at the door. Your father was home. I pretended it was charity collectors. After that, I started changing my look when I went out. Different shoes, different coat, so no one would recognize me." She looked at me with the tired eyes of someone who has already been punished. "I came tonight because they want the rest by morning. I didn't know what else to do." The room was so quiet that the rain outside sounded like whispers through the walls. Daniel rubbed his temples. "I was going to tell you after I paid them. I thought I could fix it before you found out." "Before I found out," I repeated. Each word tasted like betrayal and love mixed together. "You both lied to me. Not for yourselves, but you lied anyway." Mum started to speak again, but her voice crumbled into a whisper. "I never wanted you to see me like this." I looked at her and realized this wasn't just about money. It was about shame, the kind that grows teeth when you keep it. None of us spoke for a long time. The lamp flickered once, then steadied, as if the room was deciding whether to breathe again. When pride borrows money, love pays interest. We didn't argue. No raised voices, no slammed doors. Just 3 people sitting in the same room, all broken in different ways. Daniel reached for a notebook. He started writing numbers. I watched the pen move across the page. Neat, steady, like he could solve life with arithmetic. Savings, he murmured. Joint account, my overtime pay. Each word sounded like a sacrifice laid on the table. It still isn't enough, I said. I'll withdraw the rest tomorrow. Tomorrow's too late, Mum whispered. They'll come tonight. We looked at each other. Rain had started again outside. Soft, but constant. At 2 a.m., we drove across town. The city was asleep, but the fear in that car was wide awake. A black sedan waited near a closed shop, engine running, no lights. Daniel stepped out with an envelope. The man inside didn't speak, just opened the window enough to take it. Money changed hands. Everything else changed in silence. When we got back, Mum went straight to the guest room. Daniel sat at the kitchen table, staring at his empty hands. I made tea neither of us drank. The clock crawled toward dawn. We had saved the house, maybe. But we had broken something quieter, trust. We paid the debt. The cost was something else. Morning came without sound. The rain had stopped, but its smell still hung in the air. Mum was gone before sunrise. Left a note on the counter. Thank you. I'll make it right. Daniel was still at the table, head in his hands, like he had spent the night arguing with himself. I didn't speak. Words felt too thin for the kind of hurt we had made. He looked up finally. I was trying to protect you, he said. And I was trying to trust you, I answered. 2 truths that couldn't live in the same house. For days after, we spoke only in small sentences, about bills, dishes, weather, as if we were afraid that real words might break the fragile peace. One evening, I found the sandals again, still by the door. I picked them up and almost threw them away. But I didn't, because they remind me of what silence can do, how it builds walls out of good intentions until love can't find a door to walk through. I still love him. But now I know love isn't the same as trust. Sometimes the people who hide the truth from you are the ones trying hardest to keep you safe. And that's what makes it hurt so much. Those sandals still sit by the door, and every time I see them, I remember that betrayal isn't always about infidelity. Sometimes it's about the lies we tell to protect each other, and the parts of ourselves we lose in the process. Love can survive debt. It struggles with secrets.
Maybe tonight's story reminds you, not every betrayal wears lipstick. Some wear love and fear and the hope that silence can keep the peace. But silence, too, can be a lie. This was the Confession Stories, where every truth costs something.